Dear Saint, we've been blessed of the Lord again to study His Word. Today, the 30th of October, this Thursday, our topic is the Prince of Peace. The question that we begin with is, how do the following texts describe the future that God had envisioned for His people? So, we need to read Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1 to 5, Isaiah chapter 60, verse 17, and Hosea chapter 2, verse 18, and Micah chapter 4, verse 3. So I'll read for us these verses. Isaiah 9, verse 6 says that, "For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1 to 5 says, "There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of his wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and the fear of the Lord. His delight is in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips he shall slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt of his loins, and faithfulness the belt of his waist." Isaiah chapter 60, verse 17 says, "Instead of bronze, I will bring gold. Instead of iron, I will bring silver. Instead of wood, bronze. And instead of stones, iron. I will also make your officers peace, and your magistrate righteousness." Hosea 2:18 says, "In that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, with the birds of the air, and with the creeping things of the ground. Bow and sword of battle I will shatter from the earth to make them lie down safely." Micah chapter 4, verse 3 says, "He shall judge between many peoples and rebuke strong nations afar off. They shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore." Although the main focus of this week's lesson has constituted the divinely commanded and assisted wars of the Old Testament, we need to mention the presence of another equally significant theme of the Old Testament's prophetic writings, the future vision of the peaceful Messianic era. The Messiah is depicted as the Prince of Peace, as we have seen in Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6. He will usher in a kingdom dominated by peace, where the lion and the lamb will graze together. See Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1 to 8, in which there will be no destruction or hurt. See Isaiah chapter 11, verse 9, and where peace will rule. See Isaiah chapter 60, verse 17, and flow like a river, as we see in Isaiah chapter 66, verse 12. Let me quickly read for us these verses. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, I'll repeat. "For us a child is born, and to us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulder, and his name will be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace." Isaiah chapter 11, verse 1 to 8 says, "There shall come forth a rod from the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of his roots. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and of the fear of the Lord. His delight is in the fear of the Lord, and he shall not judge by the sight of his eyes, nor decide by the hearing of his ears, but with the righteousness he shall judge the poor, and decide with the equity for the meek of the earth. He shall strike the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall slay the wicked. Righteousness shall be the belt of his loins, and faithfulness the belt of his waist. The wolf also shall dwell with the lamb, the leopard shall lie down with the young goat, the calf and the lion and the fatling together, and a little child shall lead them, and the cow and the bear shall graze. The young ones shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. The nursing child shall play by the cobra's hole, and the weaned child shall put his hand in the viper's den. Read 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 16 to 23. Then, what insight does this story provide into the deeper purposes of God for his people and humanity? So we'll read 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 16 to 23, and it says in New King James Version, "So he answered, Do not fear, for those who are with us are more than those who are with them." And Elisha prayed and said, "Lord, I pray, open his eyes that he may see." Then the Lord opened the eyes of the young man, and he saw, and behold, the mountain was full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. So when the Syrians came down to him, Elisha prayed to the Lord and said, "Strike these people, I pray, with blindness." And he struck them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. Now Elisha said to them, "This is not the way, nor is this the city. Follow me, and I will bring you to the man whom you seek." But he led them to Samaria. So it was, when they had come to Samaria, that Elisha said, "Lord, open the eyes of these men, that they may see." And when the Lord opened their eyes, and they saw, and there they were inside Samaria. Now when the king of Israel saw them, he said to Elisha, "My father, shall I kill them? Shall I kill them?" But he said, "You shall not kill them. Would you kill those whom you have taken captive with your sword and your bow? Set food and water before them, that they may eat and drink and go to their master." Then he prepared a great feast for them, and after they ate and drank, he sent them away, and they went to their master. So the bands of the Syrian raiders came no more into the land of Israel. So the question is, what insight does this story provide into the deeper purpose of God for his people and humanity? Consider the story of feeding the Syrian army at the initiative of Elisha. Instead of massacring them, as we see in 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 22, he showcased to them the supreme ideal, peace, which has always been God's desire for his people. It's interesting to observe that Elisha is fully aware of the superiority of invisible army that surrounds the enemy, as we have seen in 2 Kings chapter 6 verse 17. As much as God is involved in a cosmic conflict that has also affected our planet, the final goal of redemption is not a perpetual conflict or even an eternal subjugation of the enemy in a state of slavery, but instead everlasting peace. As violence breeds violence, as we can see in Matthew chapter 26 verse 52, peace engages peace. The story concludes by stating that the Syrians did not come again on raids into the land of Israel, as we have seen in 2 Kings chapter 6, verse 23. Question. Think about all the ways we can, by seeking to emulate Jesus, be agents of peace. What about your own life right now? In what ways, in whatever conflict you might be facing, could you be an agent of peace instead of conflict? That is the end of our lesson for today. And as we bring it to a close, I just want to remind us of the memory text, which comes from the book of Joshua chapter 10 verse 42, and it says, "And Joshua captured all these kings and their land at one time, because the Lord God of Israel fought for Israel." Joshua chapter 10 verse 42, English Standard Version. May the Lord keep you and myself safe, that we may meet again tomorrow for another session of study. Thank you and have a good day.